firefighter.
Captain Travis Espinoza.
Okay. And how long have you been a firefighter?
I started my career here at Barstow Fire when I was 13 years old as a fire explorer in 1991. I've been doing it ever since, and about 15 years ago I got hired full-time as a fire engineer. That's the person that drives the fire engine. And about 5 years ago I got promoted to the position of captain.
Okay, well, don't have to ask you if you love your job.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what made you want to become a firefighter?
It's actually funny. I actually got in trouble with the fire marshal for lighting fireworks, and part of my punishment was to come up here to the fire station and do community service. And while up here I saw a few of my friends and found out that they were part of the Explorer Post and asked questions and got into that.
Okay, okay. So a bad thing turned into a good thing?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Okay, and what's the best thing about being a firefighter?
Just the ability to have a small part in helping somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously working as a member of a crew and a teammate. Again, that's why I say a small part. And, you know, being it's in the community I was born and raised, I know a lot of people around here, and I wouldn't want anybody else there to help them but me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and what is your least favorite part, if you have one?
The least favorite part is the same thing, seeing anybody really, but especially people you know or grew up with, that need your services. And that's probably one of my least favorite parts of the job, is just running calls for service on people I know. Really, it's, you know, and I can go into the kid thing, you know, little kids, seeing them hurt, injured, or sick.
Yeah, that would upset me.
Yeah, so I mean, that's definitely, but again, I just have to revert back to I wouldn't want anybody else but the people that we have here at Barstow Fire there to help them in their time of need.
Well, I do know that the fire department can teach us kids a lot of good stuff. When I was younger, I remember in grade school we took a trip to the fire station for fire safety. Of course, this is back in Indiana. And they put us in the buildings that they practice on to show us, you know, how to get out of a burning building, some different ways and stuff. And I remember about 2 weeks later, ironically, my house caught on fire. I was upstairs in the second story taking a nap. And because of what I learned, I was able to get out of the burning building. I did one boo-boo, though. Instead of touching the door like this, I did that.
Grab it?
No, I didn't grab it. I saw the smoke coming from under the door. And so I grabbed my rug and I rolled it up and I stuffed it under the door. And then I went like this and I'm like, yeah, that's hot. Okay, wait, how am I getting out of here? And then I remembered that they said that I could wrap my sheets around the post of my bed and kind of ambulate down the side of the house. And that's kind of what I did.
Oh, that's good. Good rescue techniques.
Well, I had learned that from the fire department. And they also said if you happen to be in the bathroom when a fire starts, the best way to get fresh air is to stick your nose down the drain.
Oh, never heard that one before. That's a good one.
Now, can you give us a rundown of what a day is like for you?
Well, our shifts are 24-hour shifts, so we came to work this morning at 8 o'clock. We won't leave until tomorrow, Monday morning at 8 o'clock. Our typical day is pretty much we show up a little before 8, we get our uniforms on, and from about 8 to 9:30 is checking out our equipment, making sure it's in a state of readiness, and it's ready to go for the calls that come right away. Like this morning, we had a call right at 8:05, so we had to make sure that stuff was ready and ready to go. After that, we have mandatory physical training that we have to do, and that usually about an hour, hour and a half.
So that like exercising,
treadmill,
working out.
working out, weightlifting, whatever your individual regimen is.
Okay.
And that usually takes us till about 11:30, where we get cleaned up and have lunch, and then after lunch in the afternoon we concentrate that time on training, on any other special projects we might have, fire inspections, hydrant inspections, anything that the chief or other assignments that need to get done is when we do that. And that usually will take us till about 5 o'clock. Mind you, in that 9 hours, we're still providing an emergency service.
Right, going on calls. I've been on 2 calls with you
already. Calls and you've been here an hour, and so we don't know when those are coming, and so we just
what they'll be,
and we just drop everything and we go.
Okay, now what fire safety tips can you give us other than don't play with like matches or something stupid like that?
well,
I mean,
I
most
mean-
people know that.
You know, something I think that we preach and we always hear about are exit strategies and exit plans in the home. I think something that gets lost as well is making sure that, one, we have the exit plan, and two, that we have fire extinguishers in our house and with working smoke detectors. The kids get taught that in school and we preach it to them, but I don't know that the adults really take it that serious when they come home and ask their child, you know, what'd you do at school today? Well, the firefighters came and taught us about fire extinguishers and fire or smoke detectors.
Well, I know.
But I don't think they actually check them and come up with an escape plan for the family. And that's one thing I would hope that us as adults, when our kids come home, or if we don't have children, that we're paying specific attention to those, because those things will help save lives.
Yes, I agree with that. Back in Indiana, I heard this weird popping noise coming from a refrigerator. And I'm like, luckily, I'm one of those people very aware of my surroundings. So I'm like, hey, what's that sound? And he goes, my roommate's like, oh, that's just the refrigerator, it's fine. I've never heard the refrigerator do that. All of a sudden, flames shot out of the little plug, the outlet. And I'm like, holy crap!
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
So luckily I knew not, when he was like, give me something to put this out, luckily I knew not to put water on an electrical fire. That would have been really bad. So I gave him, I threw him a towel, and then I went and I got a thing of baking soda. And that was actually from the firefighters that had taught me that they said baking soda, flour. That sort of stuff. And I mean, who doesn't have those things in their kitchen?
Yeah.
So, and I mean, definitely smoke detectors. I started renting a home, and I noticed, I went through and I noticed there were no smoke detectors. And I'm like, yeah, landlord, you're putting at least one smoke detector in my house. I wanted them above my door.
Right.
So I made a big deal of that. And I do know that kids, they can think that fire is cool because, you know, the different colors and stuff. I learned the hard way as a minor just how dangerous they can be. I was trying to smoke out some ground squirrels with a friend of mine, and it caught to a bush, and before we knew it, it caught to a storage shack and just burnt the thing to the ground. And the sad thing is there were two houses on either side that I knew both of the families. So I felt horrible.
Yeah, definitely got to be careful.
Now, what's the best way to get out of a burning building?
Again, it's those types of questions are going to be specific on your situation. We like to teach stay low because heat rises. And again, having that exit plan will help you determine what route to take from your house and knowing the layout of your house. Having that gathering point outside to make sure all your family members check in. And again, just we have been trained to look in specific places where kids like to go. They like to hide.
A closet or
closets
under the bed.
or under the beds. But again, just staying low and maybe a window is better for you. But again, without going into too much fire behavior, you opening up windows, it adds oxygen to the fire, makes it get bigger. So.
And fire needs fuel, oxygen, and heat to survive.
Heat, that is your fire triangle. Very good.
Yeah, if you cut off any one of those things, it's a matter of time before the fire
will
goes out, right?
Yep.
Now, I've heard that they tell you once you get out of the building, do not go back in for any reason.
Correct.
Now, why is that?
Because it's on fire.
Well, I mean, yes, but I mean, say, like, you realize, oh my gosh, my dog's in there, my baby sister's in there.
Yeah, I mean, you aren't trained, the average person isn't trained to re-enter a burning building, and you don't have the respiratory protection, you don't have the training. Allow us to get there, we'll be there within minutes, and we don't want to lose more people, so you making it out safely and then trying to go back in and adding to the problem is just more work for us to do. Not that we mind, but we just want, you know, you're safe, be safe. You're better off telling us where that person or where that animal is, so that we can go directly there and we're not performing a wide search.
Right.
For
Now, can you explain not maybe exactly, but kind of how somebody dies from the smoke inhalation? Because I've never really understood that.
Well, I mean, your lungs need fresh air. Smoke contains byproducts of combustion and other nasty stuff, and your lungs don't like that, and you basically suffocate.
Oh, okay.
So you have 21% oxygen in the air. You start displacing that with anything else, we're not going to be able to breathe.
Okay, so
that's what your body needs.
Right, so it'd be equivalent to if I started strangling you.
Correct.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would want us to know? Or?
No, I just want to first off thank you for allowing us to do this for your new YouTube channel.
Well, I think that it would be interesting to get people to understand just what they do.
And you got to run a couple calls.
Obviously,
you didn't get to see a couple, too many.
No, I couldn't get to go in, but hey, right in the back. How many people get to ride in the back of a fire truck with the lights and siren going?
That's every child's dream.
Right. My friends are going to be like, you are such a brat.
Yeah, so you got to see a little bit of what we do in an hour and got some questions answered, but we want to again thank you for this opportunity to get Barstow Fire District out there in the YouTube world. And we encourage everybody to ask questions, and if you have any issues or problems, please just give our secretary, Heather Adams, a call at 760-256-2254, and she'll be able to answer a majority of the questions for you guys.
Well, we have to get going and let these great guys get back to their jobs, but we definitely wanted to say a big thank you for taking the time to, do this.
We are your fire department.
Right. So, well, we got to get going, so we got to fly. See you later.